Hello, everybody. How's it going? It's me, Crendor, and welcome back to Crendor Talks in front of a shitty green screen. Today, I want to talk about Classic Plus because Classic Plus is something that we've been talking about for years and years. We've had Season of Discovery, which is kind of its own version of Classic Plus, but to me wasn't really truly Classic Plus, right? We've obviously had things like private servers, which many people, I would say, think that they're doing Classic Plus the proper way that a lot of people wanted it. I would even say, I've heard the opinion, and I kind of think it too, is that Blizzard's going after a lot of these servers now because they're doing their own Classic Plus. They even sent out that survey that was like, hey, what would you like to see from a Classic Plus? So to me, it's pretty obvious something's happening. I think there's a breadcrumb trail going on here. You can just follow it. And so it makes you think, what do you want from Classic Plus? And I feel like a lot of people have had this discussion before. In fact, over on Wowhead, there's an article that says, what do players want from the next version of Classic WoW? And I saw this the other day and I was scrolling down and it says here, with the development of Blizzard's next Classic project in the works following Season of Discovery, players are anticipating some significant changes. Players are creating wish lists of what they would like to see in the new game mode. Recently, WoW content creator Zaryu took this a step further and polled his viewers on what they would like to see in Classic Plus. And so, first off, I think it's funny that I'm reacting to an article about Zaryu and doing a poll. It's like trickle down trickle down content creation, right? Like Zaryu made a poll, which then he obviously made a YouTube video or stream about, which then got created into a Wowhead article that I am now responding to. Like this is 2025 content creation at its finest, right? But I don't even want to react to like the actual poll or the actual article, which, you know, you can go look at it for yourself on Wowhead here, read through everything. Like there's plenty of stuff to look at, talk about, vote over. They go over some other stuff here as well. Like it's worth checking out. But my main thing is I want to talk about what I truly want in a Classic Plus experience. And the thing here is that it's going to be different for everybody, right? Because even if you go read the comments on videos or Wowhead here, everybody's going to have a different opinion. Everybody's going to want their own thing. Some people are like, I just care about PvP. Some people are like, I just care about rating. Some people are like, I just care about the leveling experience, right? Like everybody has their own thing that they want from Classic Plus. Some people are going to want no changes. Some people want some changes. Some people want a lot of changes. Like you're never going to please everybody. And that's kind of the difficult part of all this. And so I kind of just want to talk about my viewpoint on Classic WoW, because obviously I played Classic WoW back in 2004. You know, I've played WoW for 20 years. I've been creating videos for over 15 years at this point. And I've played Classic, you know, Vanilla WoW, Classic Hardcore. Like I've played it all. I'm not good at it. Don't get me wrong. I'm not good at it, but I think that's why you need so many different opinions, right? You need to get everybody's opinions, see what everybody likes. It's not everybody's good at the game. In fact, I'd say very few people are actually good at the game, right? But besides the point here, my big thing about Classic WoW is it is its own version of World of Warcraft. It is the original version, and to me, it is classic. It is World of Warcraft 1, and retail WoW is World of Warcraft 2. A lot of people are like, when's WoW 2 coming out, right? Like, when's World of Warcraft 2 going to show up? Folks, we have World of Warcraft 2. It's retail WoW. Like, Classic WoW is WoW 1, retail WoW is WoW 2. That's my viewpoint. I mean, they are both completely different games. They have completely different play styles and leveling experiences. In fact, some might say the retail leveling experience just doesn't exist, probably because it really doesn't. You know, it's more focused about just hitting max level and just doing whatever, which Classic WoW is very much more focused on the journey, not the destination. The leveling process takes quite a long time, to the point where we've had Classic Hardcore WoW, which is about, can you level from 1 to 60 without dying? Like that in itself is a challenge, which shows you like the dichotomy between the two. Because I mean, go to retail WoW. Can you get to 1 to 80 without dying? You probably do that in your sleep, right? Like it's really not that difficult. So these are two different games. Classic WoW, very slow paced, focused on leveling, the journey, right? Like all these things. Retail WoW, much more action, RPG focused, with collection being a big thing. Obviously, I love collecting mounts. I love collecting all this stuff, right? So main point being, these are two different games. And so when I go back on that aspect and people say, well, what do you want from a Classic Plus? So I think what I want is I just want classic World of Warcraft, but with more stuff. And that's just my like generic kind of, this is what I want thing, right? Like I want a new battleground in Classic WoW. I want new zones in Classic WoW. I want more races and classes in Classic WoW, because that will allow me to play that game in that style, that old kind of slower RPG style, as opposed to retail WoW, right? And so anytime I think of that, sure, there's like the minute systems and there's like dual talent specs and things. There's plenty of quality of life things they could fix. But to me, Classic Plus is about taking that old system, right? That old game, World of Warcraft Classic #1, and adding more onto it, more content to consume. And I think that is part of the reason why people have kind of gravitated to the private servers, is they've pretty much done that, right? And I think Blizzard kind of missed the mark with Season of Discovery a bit, because they kind of did that. Like they added some new raids, like they added the Karazhan Crypts, and they did stuff like that. But I feel like they kind of missed the opportunity to really just go all out with it. And I don't know if it's because of like a technical issue or like putting resources into it, but I think so many people that played Season of Discovery, like I think a lot of them thought it was cool, but like I think most people just wanted more classic WoW stuff, right? Like I would love to have Mount Hyjal be a real zone. I would love to have the battlegrounds that never came out to actually get created. I would love different raids and different like I said, battlegrounds, and like just more stuff for classic WoW, and more. You could add more levels in, right? Instead of 1 to 60, maybe now you go 1 to 65 or 1 to 70. And then obviously, Burning Crusade would be like 60 to 70, but like we're talking very much like Classic Plus is classic only. Like you're not going to move on to Burning Crusade. That's kind of my philosophy, would be like, this is strictly classic, and that's it, right? But it doesn't matter because you're adding more content onto it. And so I never really played old school RuneScape. But I think that's what a lot of people said old school RuneScape was, I believe, or is, I shouldn't say was, like that's what it is they just keep adding on more and more stuff, right? Correct me if I'm wrong, because like I haven't played it, but I think so many people have that same opinion, right? Like people just want more classic WoW content to consume, because there's only you can only replay the same stuff so many times, right? Like we're back in Tanaris. We're back in the same zones. We're doing the same raids. We got, people soloing Molten Core, right? You can only do the same stuff so many times. And so people are like, please just give me more, because they enjoy the core system of classic WoW and what it was. And so to me, it doesn't even, like, so many of the things just don't even matter. It's about just adding more. And so, like I said, there's obviously, minute details and gameplay corrections and class balancing and all this stuff, but I think as long as we get some sort of and actually, you know what, going back on this, I think again it's insane how much private servers have actually created. Like I'm somebody, I've never even played on private servers, but just looking at stuff, seeing like videos and stuff, it's like wow, like this is genuinely just giving people what they've wanted. Like people just want more stuff, and that's what they've done. And I think maybe Blizzard has realized that now, but obviously it's I wouldn't say it's too late, but I think so many people have just been like, yeah, this is what I want, and this is why they love those private servers. And I think if Blizzard can do this correctly, right, I think there's going to be a massive resurgence in classic WoW. I think so many people would go back. I think there's plenty of people that would just, play classic WoW again just to experience new content in classic WoW. And that's that. Like, I mean, doing things like dual talent specs and, adding in transmog or a guild bank or a dungeon finder, like, cool. That's very much a, making classic WoW convenient, or making it less of a grind, or making it so, right, you don't have to pay money to switch talent specs or stuff like that. But again, there's only so much you can do with that, right? You're still playing the same stuff. You're still going to Molten Core. You're still going to all the same zones from 1 to 60. You still have the same leveling path. But once you start adding in these new zones, right? Like adding in like classic Gilneas and classic Hyjal and, you know, all these like random new zones you could add. Then you're adding in different pathways through the leveling. You're adding in different pathways for the end game. You're adding in new raids and dungeons and stuff that makes people curious about Classic WoW again and want to come back and try it. And then when all that happens, then people might say, yo, let's do Classic Hardcore again now that there's so much new content and so many new ways to play the game. And I think that's really the core of what people want from Classic Plus, is people want more ways to play the game, because you can only play the game so many times, right? I mean, it happens with any game. There's only so much time and effort you can put into a game before you do all the things or you get tired of it. And I think people start to bash on games, not just WoW, but just any game, where they rush to the end or they do all the content and they go like, well, now there's nothing to do, right? Because I've done all the things. And then people try to get creative with it. They make challenges. They do all this stuff. But really the core thing is people just want more stuff. And I think that's really all Blizzard should be focused on, is add more stuff as their core principle. Not all they should be focused on, but what they should primarily be focused on. Because once you add more stuff, then you can kind of focus on, you know, fixing all the little stuff later on, like the balance issues and things like that. But again, that's just my personal opinion. I'm somebody who loves going from 1 to 60, seeing all the zones, doing all that. So let me know in the comments section what your opinion is. You know, are you somebody who agrees with me? Do you think maybe you should be different? Do you disagree with me? I don't know. Just let me know down in the comment section below. But I mean, overall, I would just love more Classic Plus, or more Classic WoW content in general, right? Just new stuff to do. That's really what I want. So thank you very much. Like, comment, subscribe. Here's some videos you go watch if you want to watch some other stuff, and I'll see you next time. Okay? Okay. See ya.